Nine, please join us for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, all. Happy February. First on the agenda is approve the minutes of January 29th as written.
I'll so move.
I'll second that.
Moved by Meeks, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion?
I'll abstain on that.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-1. Next is move to authorize director chairman to sign one tax abatement in the amount of $262.76.
I so move, I read through it.
Yeah, I did too. I'll second that.
Moved by Hugutin, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Next is move to authorize director chairman to sign memorandum of employees regarding Form CP5 Step 1 movement.
For one step movement, I
For
left
one.
out four.
CP, okay, yeah, for one step movement.
I guess I'm not following 100%.
Is that early for that?
Actually, it is a little earlier because we've been behind for the past few years, so I'm trying to get it back on track so that when April 1st comes, we're not in a rush.
So it is April 1st when it kicks in.
When it goes into effect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, this just goes out to departments for them to start working on their sheets to get everything ready. And then, when we get them back, that gives us time to get them in the books, get everything prepared without being in a rush. Because we were pushing it to the wire for the past several years, and I thought, let's get back on track.
Good.
Okay, good enough.
Okay. So move then.
I'll second that. Moved by Hugutin, seconded by McCurry. Any other discussion?
McCree or you?
McCurry.
Oh.
They both spoke.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You
Oh.
just confused me.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Let's see, what we got, one more? No, we got,
Yeah.
move to authorize director chairman to sign licensing letter to Coffee County Hospital.
I had put a letter before you a couple weeks ago, I think, and I put it as a grant letter. I misunderstood Rhonda, I think, when she sent it, that it was for a grant. It's actually for their licensing. Any additional information since you're here, Joe Ben?
No.
Just to keep continuing as a hospital, is that?
Yes,
the
one
way-
of our insurance providers requires this.
So is that an annual thing you do, or?
Well, this is the first time they've asked for it. They've
See, I
asked for
have-
it before.
I don't recall seeing it before, and then the other day, it did say grant.
It did say grant, and I was
And I'm not
like, that was bad
no
on me,
worries.
but it's for licensing, so.
Okay.
I'll move.
Second.
Moved by Knight, seconded by Hugutin. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Oh, you still have, you can wait on those if you want, you don't have to do those right now. We might have discussion.
Okay. We'll go, Amber, you wanna come up before Amelia?
Sorry.
Button in line, button in line.
This will be a quick. Just quick.
We've heard that before too.
You what?
We've heard that before too.
Right? I say that a lot. What you're saying. Cheers. Good morning. I have a motion in front of you to sign a concurrence document. I've been telling you that our local emergency operations plan has been at KDM. Tim and the KDM rep have been working on it because it's been such a mess for like 5 years. And KDM finally got it to where they are ready to do the final approval for it.
but they have this concurrence document that they said they would like the commissioners and me to sign, saying, we're cool, we're ready for the next step, which will be the formal approval process from KDM for our local emergency operations plan. So I have this document right here.
So does that have to do with, Wolf Creek thing?
No, it's all other hazards other than Wolf Creek.
Okay.
And this is a plan that we had hired a contractor to build for us many moons ago, and it got really screwed up. And we've been trying to, KDM went ahead and approved it. They probably shouldn't have, but they approved it so that we could meet all of our criteria for FEMA and all that stuff. But it's been years of us trying to get it straightened out, and we finally got it fixed. And KDM is ready to do the next step. So it says the concurrence document is required by Kansas Division of Emergency Management to initiate the formal review process for approval of the local emergency operations plan. This document is only required once per approval period and indicates that the local community supports the base concept of operations outlined in this plan. And they told me all they needed was the commissioner and me to sign it. And they can get going on their part and we'd be good to go.
So the complete document we'll have in our hands
Yes.
in the next month or two?
Yes,
Or-
I didn't want to print it out until they do their final assessment, because then there'd just be changes and it would get
Because
confusing.
we haven't done anything on it for years then.
No, we've been working on it.
I mean, you have, but we haven't.
Right, no, yeah, you had not. And once we do get it approved by KDM, then we'll get a signature page, and we will start reviewing it at our LEPC meeting that Steve goes to. Each section, like there's a firefighter section, there is a medical section, there is a public information section. Everybody has a section that they fall under during any kind of emergency. And we review that annually.
Motion raised upon the recommendation of the Emergency Management Director, moved to authorize Director Chairman to sign local emergency operations plan concurrence letter.
I'll move. I'll second.
Moved by McCurry, seconded by Meeks. Any discussion?
Nothing, no sort of jargon, verbiage in there that would require any sort of approval, put county attorney or just a
No,
standard?
because not until we get to the next step.
Okay.
This just lets them start their process. It's kind of a weird formality. Is I've told them I don't like to sign and I don't like the commissioners to sign until the plan is final. Like, I don't expect you guys to sign something that someone else may tear to shreds. So, but this just says we can go to the next step and it's tear to shreds, so.
Technically, it's not set in concrete for anything as
Right,
yet.
yes.
Okay.
This is just a concurrence that we want to go to the next step.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Does that all make sense? Right? It's like a step to the next step, which will be the final step.
Yes, ma'am.
I just don't want to sign something that obligates us to.
Right, yeah, we're not obligated for anything.
That's for pre-approval of the car.
Right, yeah. Yep, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Amelia, you're up. Morning.
Morning.
Before you're done.
All right.
All right, I'd like to provide a little department update. Some events that we're hosting for our Coffee County employees. Walk with Ease, so this is a program that is grant funded. We are starting with Coffee County employees first on this one, and then we will transition to offering it for the public. So what it is just encouraging everybody to be active, walk. So we're doing it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. It's for 20 minutes, and it's just a walk that they also discuss health topics at each one. The employees that are gonna be doing that one, is Lindsay, Jennifer, and Sheila, and Sheila's a point of contact for registration. We have our employee community wellness program is doing the teen challenge, that started on the 8th and it's through March 3rd. We had our family planning site visit and the corrective actions are due on February 8th. And then I am working on, our grant applications for 2025. Those are due at the end of March, and that's for our family planning, immunization action plan, maternal child health, public health emergency preparedness, and state formula. And then we have a carryover application, which is the workforce development. That's the one that we just secured funding for back in November. And then the grants that are ending, June 30th of 2024 is the COVID ELC expanding infrastructure, and then the ELC care resource coordination and expanded testing. We are working on transitioning all of our documentation to electronic formats for the EHR that we recently went live with back in May, end of April, beginning of May. And we are transitioning our employee and community wellness coaching documentation all to the EHR. I built in the system the work plan for that. And then we are just working on scanning all historic documents into the EHR. Upcoming events for the health department, we have the 2024 Public Health Governor's Conference, which is March 4th through 6th in Wichita. And then we have the 2024 Local Health Department Billing Symposium, and that's April 2nd and 3rd. And Jennifer will be the only one that will be attending that one. And I think we sent the forms up since it's overnight. Do you have any questions on any of that?
Been busy.
Yes, been very busy. So since we just had our family planning audit and received the corrective actions, I would like to request to go to executive session to include the Coffee County Commissioners, County Attorney Wade Bowie, and myself, Public Health Administrator, to discuss legal advice and updates related to Coffee County Health Department policy and procedure for 20 minutes.
So moved.
Second that.
Move for executive session, Commission, Wade Bowie, and Health Director. You said 20 minutes, right?
That's correct.
Moved by Hughton, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes. We'll enter at 9:15 for 20 minutes. No action taken on last executive session. Come on, get my fingers to work. Yeah, I don't remember reading one, but, okay.
Oh.
Did I read two of them? Did I read two?
One. Oh. Oh, this one was passed on 129, you missed it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right. Next is discussion to sell land near the Meadows property. I visited with an individual yesterday. Said we ought to split it up into at least 3 options, or 3 lots. Maybe 4, but
I like the 3.
I think 3, especially with the, that would give the furthest south location the option if they ever move the floodplain anymore, which I don't think they will, but, I mean, that would still give them
Ample room.
ample room down there, if they should ever move the floodplain.
Yep.
Which is already outside the trees the way it is, to an extent. I don't know how far, but it is beyond the tree line.
It just reestablished, the 100-year flood line 2 years ago, I believe. You wouldn't think there would be any change in the near future on that. Of course, you put a structure up, you're 100-year floodplain.
Right.
When I looked at it here 2 weeks ago, I don't have any idea how 100-year floodplain with that water could ever get up that high. Doesn't even seem possible, but you gotta live with what the document says.
So in order to do that, you would have to survey it, have it surveyed and had plotted out that way, is that right?
Yeah, I was told somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 to get it split up into 3 lots, and then, like I said, we're talking about housing, so making 3 lots out of it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And sell them off individually, I don't know if we wanna.
Do a sealed bid
I was gonna say, how does that work then?
sealed bid individually priced, or all of it?
But they'd
One
be
price.
plotted out with 3 lots and,
One person could buy all 3 lots.
right.
Or one person could buy 1 lot.
Right.
Or you can list it with trust point too,
Right.
or all of the others, actually.
Yeah.
I'd just get bids.
Huh?
I guess I'd just soon get bids somehow, if we could figure out how we wanted to structure that, so give everybody the options to 1, 2, all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that's what we're gonna go, that's kind of why I wanted to just sell it together, and then people could.
Let them split it out.
So there's roughly 5 acres and that includes the floodplain?
Yeah.
Okay.
When visiting with the city, that, on the bottom of there, the way it's got it highlighted, that tree line is the floodplain. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I seen once on the floodplain map is. I don't think they'd ever change it, but that would still give nice.
Well, that was,
That's pretty nice.
was a recent update 2 or 3 years ago, whenever that was.
Let's see.
I mean, yeah, you're not squeezing 5 homes into 4 acres, or 6 homes into 4 acres, or 8 homes into 4 acres, but.
All those other lots are nice sized lots, that's why I say 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention, that, again, that south one being, who knows how much of that's in the floodplain.
Right.
You'd have extra room there, basically.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of those other lots, they don't have any sheds on them, you know, or buildings or barns, or
Right.
whatever you wanna call them, they've just got the house only in a garage, you know, it'd be nice to have something that somebody could put a nice size house up and maybe put a shop behind it, or whatever,
But 3 lots should allow that to happen.
easy enough.
Yeah, easy enough.
Cause those others they're all on a .8 or a .9,
Oh.
just shy of an acre lot.
The size of that, would you just go crossways, an acre and a half, and then 1.9?
Mm-hmm.
Give that south lot more room because of potential flood.
I would, that's what I would.
That'd still give each property plenty of width, and then they'd have all the backside for whatever else they wanted to construct.
Is that acreage at the red line or blue line there, net red line now?
Which one?
Well, whichever one, we're talking there's 4.9 or whatever there is. Is that, you know, in the country, a lot of times it's the middle of the road, but is that acreage to that line, inside of that line, there's that much area, does anybody know? I mean, just thinking, just so we don't,
I know what
the
you're
one on
saying.
the north side ends up with a way smaller usable lot than the rest of them because of the right-of-way being out of it.
Right.
I know what you're saying.
Because otherwise you just, the center one and the south one would just have off of the west side.
That is in the city limits, so I do believe it is.
To that line probably.
We can double check and make sure, but
You know.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I assumed it was, but it's just a
Yeah,
thought.
because in the country, yours and I just go to the center of the road.
Yeah.
And the road.
And you gotta build off it 30 foot off that even.
Yeah,
Off of your adjacent property line.
Right.
right.
Are we taking a look at all three lots, individually sealed bids? And if somebody came in and wanted to buy all three of them,
Total price.
I guess one issue, what happens if somebody likes the north lot, has bid a huge dollar amount for it, and then you get, the other two lots are bid down a little bit, and then the one that buys all of it comes in with a level that'll take that top bid out. I know that's probably just a risk.
That's the problem.
To me, that's a little issue.
It's per lot, as far as I'm concerned.
To me, that could make a little
Just
issue.
per lot and not overall.
Correct.
I,
Because we want housing, we want 3 houses sitting there, you don't want.
Yeah, if we're gonna
That's-
sell it all together, then we don't sell it in one lump, I think. If we're gonna split it, then,
don't worry
like
about
this,
it.
Tom, it should be.
Don't sell
per lot.
individual lots if you're gonna do
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I wanna put together.
There's no and/or all three, there's a per lot.
yeah. But I think sealed bids is the fairest way. I mean, you know, obviously you're gonna have your commission if so with a realtor, which I don't have an objection to them making their share, but how are we assured that everybody had a chance, you know, when you sell it with a realtor? I don't know how else to say it.
They got more avenues of advertising, was the only reason I thought about it that way.
Yeah.
It was brought up to me that this individual would help do anything we needed to move it forward.
Probably not.
And I would assume that would even include advertising, but I'm not sure, without any monetary commission.
Probably need to have somebody draw that area plan up, you know, for the acre and a half. That way everybody, we know what it actually looks like.
Right.
Because those trees down there are taking in a half an acre, probably, or a quarter plus.
On the way in,
So people watch the meetings, read the paper, and it was relayed to me that for the 4.9 acres, the anticipated cost for the, I guess, floor for that property as a whole would be somewhere around $100,000 was just the estimate. So just so you have an idea, at least the starting point for 4.9 acres, and then if you divide it out, what that would look like. But the whole point in this exercise is to figure out which direction you want to go, and if you want to have it portioned out, then that's the direction that you need to decide to move forward in, and then if you want to go with a realtor or some other avenue, I mean, now's the starting point. Step one would be to divide the property however you see fit, and maybe someone who's in that business would have an idea of what the best way to do that would be. And then from there, once you have that accomplished, then you can decide whether you want to go with a realtor or whether you want to operate solely under County Resolution 910, which gives you the ability to decide how property is disposed of, whether it be through a realtor, fixed bid, auction, whatever it may be. You have that ultimate flexibility. But the most important part of it, you've had two individuals now show up and ask you or demonstrate interest in that property, and there may be others, and so that everybody has the opportunity to at least weigh in and be a part of it, however you want to get that out to the general public that may want to put in a bid for whatever reason on that property.
Timeline, who does stuff, who does surveying like that? Does CSF, or get somebody?
We can get that taken care of if that's what you want to do.
I believe so. Like I said, we keep saying we need more houses, everybody says we need more houses. I think this would be a way of just demonstrating that we agree that we need more houses by splitting it up into 3 lots and selling individual lots.
Timeline,
Well,
another 30 days.
before it's divided up.
So the first thing that we would do is have it,
Surveyed 3
Survey.
lots.
and plot it out in 3 lots, and then from there, the decision on how to move that forward.
How to sell it.
Yeah.
Mhm. I mean, you're gonna wanna keep your sealed bids open for 30 days. Probably.
I think you get it subdivided first, figure out what those parcels are, then come back and then make the decision on how to move forward in the interim. Maybe explore what avenues make sense, whether the county handling it the same way other properties have been handled, or to go with the realtor, understand maybe what a commission would potentially be, or if you want to explore the auction route. I mean, all those things are open for discussion under that county resolution. But until you know what it looks like divided, you really don't have anything to offer at this point,
Right.
unless it is. So step one, in my opinion, you have a 4.9 acre tract. If you're wanting to make the decision to have it surveyed and divided, you know I'm about paper trails, so I would suggest you make a motion to move forward in that direction, and then that way, if somebody wants to come back later on down the road, where was that decision made, who made it, to deal with a existing piece of county property, then you've got a paper trail where somebody could find it in the minutes at least.
Well, does anybody see anything that's wrong with the idea of 1.5 acres at the north side, 1.5 acres, and the 1.9 at the bottom? I mean, I don't think we need to hire somebody to help us study that, do we? Am I wrong?
Can you wheel it off, I mean, or does it need to be surveyed?
I mean, you know,
It'll have to be legally plotted.
Yeah,
Okay.
but, I mean, can't we just set those dimensions? I don't see the need to spend money. If that's what we're gonna do, sell it in 3 tracts, 1.5, 1.5, 1.9, and that can easily be surveyed, and I wouldn't have any objection to, auctioning it either. In my opinion, that can be good or bad, I mean, on the sealed bid deal, but I tell you, you get 2 people standing across from each other, and there's nothing like, I want it a little worse. I mean, been
All
there.
it takes is 2.
Yeah, or one and a really good auctioneer.
I'm not too sure though that we had to set flags out there. And that way people could go look
Yes.
exactly what they're.
Yeah, get it surveyed.
I don't think it'd take much to survey, 'cause you know there's pins all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd take much to survey.
Our
I'm not saying we're around the
Our
country.
county ought to be able to survey that at a time.
County might be able to set those, flags for us.
Comfortable with that or not?
Who do we have that does surveying at the county?
To get licensed, we gotta go through, I just lost their name.
Geotech?
No. Is it Jim?
I think it's
Should be.
Geotech.
See, like,
Steve Bozeman? Yeah.
Bozeman, yeah, see, he signs off on everything that the county does anyway, so we'd have to get over him, plot that out, so to speak, because it has to be done by a licensed surveyor. And
But our
then-
people could do that, and then he'd sign off on it and say that, well, money.
And that could be too, so I mean, that'd be a question for Mr. Gertz.
Yeah.
I just think if that's where you wanna start it, or, again, always look at Wade to see what his thoughts are, because it all turns into legal type issues if you ask me, so.
Well, I know time is of the essence, the people brought it to us back before the first of the year,
Yeah.
back before Christmas, probably even December, and And I feel it's kind of, we've kicked the can down the road a little too long, and we need to get to moving on it.
He needs, the individual.
Everybody does,
needs-
yeah.
Yeah.
And there'll be more interest.
And I'm good with auctioning it off, I mean, but you're gonna want time for advertising,
Yeah.
you know, to get it done.
So then if you're gonna auction it off, are you gonna hire somebody who specializes in auctions so it can be publicly?
Yeah, you're gonna pay a commission there.
And a lot of times with an auction, and I've dealt with that with some family property, the cost for their services is added to the final cost for the parcels put on top of.
I'd speak to the individual I spoke with yesterday and see what they would be willing to do if it went the auction route, or if we went the auction route.
To start off with, I agree with Wade, step one, we need to get it plotted, so somebody needs to reach out to Dirks to see.
Yeah.
And then you can reach out to Bozeman.
I can talk to Ryan. I'll talk to Ryan, see if he can do something like that.
This is your project.
No, it's
We're just
not.
gonna have you go.
No, it's in your town.
Out of my district, moved on.
That's close.
If we do have a sealed bid, we're gonna reserve the right to refuse.
You always
If we
do.
auction it off, can we reserve?
You can have a reserve on it.
Yes.
But
I
it's
think
still
we
going
could-
to cost us if we,
I don't-
Yeah, you're gonna pay commission, probably, if you're auctioning.
I would
I
say.
wanna do everything in good faith, that's what bothers me a little bit.
Mhm.
If we auction it off and reserve, I'm not
You
too
can
sure
put a
that's.
reserve.
Huh?
You can put a reserve.
I know, but is that doing it very professionally? We reserve the right of an open house auction, and maybe there's not any difference in a sealed bid.
I would think we'd have enough interest that I think we're gonna,
I don't
you
think
know,
you'll have issues.
we've got interest.
You're talking about big bucks though.
I know, but we've got interest of building in our city, and I just think, if you auctioned it or sealed bid it, you're gonna get about what it's worth, is my opinion. Everybody's got the opportunity,
Yeah.
that's what it's worth on that day.
Yeah, I
legally.
would hope that would be right.
the sealed bid would be,
Fine with whatever.
a little less,
Less expense.
you know.
And the person can do an online auction up until a certain day and then go live auction at 1 o'clock on February 28th. You know, so then you've already got your bids coming in on an online side, and then you go to the live auction on a said day at a said time, and then it goes up from there. The people that wanna come out and bid on each track, you know, most of the time they're actually present,
They are.
you know, so. I don't know, I say we get a survey to go from there.
Get
Get a survey and then we can,
get some more info from
Yep.
people that know, I guess. And best way to dispose of it.
Do we need a motion?
I'd suggest a motion so there's a paper trail.
He likes me to read.
I don't have one ready.
You don't have
so
one
You gotta
ready?
help me.
Well, what have you been doing over there?
Listening to a lot of discussion.
Yeah.
Listening to a lot of blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So how would you word that?
I'm just typing
Okay.
that.
Let's see what we got now.
I would say it's gonna be something about, surveying the property, acre and a half, and 1.8 into 1.9, surveying it into 3 sections, 1.5, 1.5, 1.9.
If I did it this way, we'll know for sure Mr. Thompson's question did not present the road, but I'm pretty sure it's in.
I imagine that's right, Tom. I just
Typically,
something I
so it
wanted to
shouldn't-
check, you know, that somebody didn't get shorted.
Yeah, that line you had, that he had established should be it.
Yeah, yeah.
See what I wrote and then tell me what you think.
Let me survey the Meadows block 002 all acre lot. This is be Pioneer Meadows. Lot, all acres, 4.9, section 22,021. Practice version says 360.
Oh, Pioneer.
Up above is Pioneer Meadows. Is that all in the Pioneer Meadows subdivision?
Yes,
Is that right?
I believe so.
Address is 0 Kennedy Street, is that it? 0 Kennedy Street,
Where's
up top,
Would we wanna,
right side.
that? Oh, okay.
would we wanna put something in this motion that describes that starting at the north side or something, or 1.5, and 1.9 at the south side? I don't know.
Yeah,
If we're trying to
from north
describe
to,
what it is.
from north to south, 1.5, 1.5, 1.9.
I think that would give people, you know, so just to give everybody a better
Right.
idea, maybe.
Are you reading?
Me?
You reading the motion?
Are you looking at what I've written?
Say, move to authorize survey of county-owned property located at or located within the Pioneer Meadows after range 15 with recommendation to divide property
North to south, east to west? Is that what you're thinking?
it can't hurt.
East to west lots. There we go.
And then you might say license survey just in case.
Alright, here's how the motion reads. Move to authorize license survey of county-owned property located within the Pioneer Meadows location at 0 Kennedy Street, Burlington, Kansas, subdivision block 002, lot all acres 4.9, section 22, township 21, range 15, with recommendation to divide the property into 3 sections from north to south, east to west lots, 1.5 acres, 1.5 acres, 1.9 acres. I'll move.
I'll second.
Moved by Knight, seconded by Hugan. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Good job. Okay. I don't think that'll take very long to get that surveyed. I hope.
It shouldn't.
Yeah, there's gotta be a lot of hands there.
Yeah. Shouldn't take too long. I hope. We've talked about this long enough.
Then in the interim time period, be thinking about your next big decision will be how you want to, whether you want sealed bids, whether you want a realtor, whether you want auction, all of those things probably need to be vetted in advance so that you can move forward once you get the information from the survey.
I agree. I'll call Ryan and visit with him as soon as I'm done here. Maybe meet over at the property. Go from there. What else we got? That concludes that. I guess.
So you have to.
Thank you.
Yeah, we gotta do the judicial. We did the CP, we did the letter to the hospital.
These last two, yeah. And I forget where we're at, the non-lawyer.
That is still Tim Johnson.
I was gonna say, is Tim still on that?
Yes.
So this would be a
We can
reappoint.
reappoint him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's willing to.
Yes.
Were there any other interests in it?
Not to my knowledge.
It doesn't have to be a commissioner, correct?
Correct.
It's just a non-lawyered position.
I would move to reappoint Tim on that position.
I'd
I
second
mean,
that.
he's already got some experience with that, if I remember right, doesn't he?
Yep. It's been moved by McCurry to reappoint Tim Johnson as a non-lawyered member of the 4th Judicial Nominee Commission beginning May 5th, March 5th, 2024, and ending March 6th, 2028. It was seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Congratulations, Tim Johnson.
New job. Good job.
Yeah.
He'll be a part of his third.
Third judge,
Is that,
Yep.
I knew he'd had some experience with that.
which is kind of unheard of. There's been a lot of them, but sad to say, a lot of the judges are getting old and retiring. I just hope I'm not in front of any of them that took offense to that. Let's see.
So some that would have been retiring or not because the state increased their salaries pretty substantially. So some that would have been retiring, I think, are hanging on a little
So
bit
that will
longer.
stay a little longer. Next is to move to approve a public hearing for adopting the Lake Region Solid Waste Plan on February,
We gotta figure out a date
figure out a date.
and time.
It's an every 5-year,
Yeah, so
Five-year plan.
this plan, they go through and make changes or, add things to it every 5 years, and so this is the year. So there has to be a public hearing for adopting Lake Region Solid Waste Plan, and we have to advertise it at least once in the newspaper, so,
Today's the 5th, so
What's the ending date of that one there? Is there any date on it?
why don't we do it for like, we got the 19th on?
yeah,
We just do it on the 20th.
we could use the 20th. That way if we miss it this week, we can get it next week,
Correct. Or it can be in favor 2 weeks.
right?
One.
So, we could do the public hearing right at 9:05.
start at first thing, 9:05.
If you don't have anything else on the agenda, sure.
Nothing right now.
That usually works good.
was no other plan, was
The,
there, for the 20th? It seemed like there was something.
this ends, I mean, the new plan has to be approved this year. This is the 5th year. It was done in 2019, I think, was it?
Yeah, 2019, this will be 5 years.
Yeah, so it's just something that they do every 5 years, so.
Let's just do it on the 20th at 9:05, like you said. And I'll give Keith a couple weeks to put it in the paper. Does anybody? You're done.
Sounds wonderful. Sooner the better.
Okay.
Alright, motion reads, move to approve public hearing for adopting the Lake Region Solid Waste Plan on Tuesday, February 20th, 2024 at 9:05 a.m.
The only thing I would say to 9:05 would be if we have several tax abatements to approve or other miscellaneous motions, we might be late on that.
We could always hold the, tax abatements.
Okay, all
We
right.
could push them down.
True. Okay. Sorry. I just have to think of that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't always hit 9:05, so.
I'll move. I'll second. Moved by Knight, seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
So once you have that hearing, you'll have a resolution that you'll approve, and that will adopt the new Lake Region Solid Waste Management Plan,
That'll be good for 5 years then.
5 years. And then there's special issues.
Wait a minute. I was reading it, it says the hearing has to be held at least 15 days and not more than 30 days after publication.
Oh, 15
So if you
days,
put it
that
in,
would be,
put it in on the 8th, and you're having it on the 20th, that doesn't meet 15 days?
oh, so we need to do the 26th, don't we?
26th to the 26th.
Sorry.
No, I'm glad you saw that.
Good math. Darn.
We didn't read the letter very well, did we? Are you guys okay with this?
Well, I mean, but it says 15 days and not more than 30 days after the publication is noticed, so we're still in the clear. 15 days and not more than 30
Must be
days.
held at
I know,
least.
but it'd be published
It's gotta be at
on the
least
8th.
15 days after.
Yeah,
See,
so we
published
need,
date won't be
Oh, we're
until the
good.
8th.
Yeah.
we need to go to 26th,
You're good on the 26th, but not the 20th.
because we are outside that 15 days.
After the publication.
Move
After
the
the
publication to the 12th then.
See, the way I read that, the hearing must be held at least, so with any time between 0 and 15 days, but you can't exceed 30. You don't have to be beyond 15, you just have to be,
Yeah, it is, it just says at least 15 days. You have to be at least 15 days
so it could be on 10 days.
No.
It's not real clear for sure.
Has to
It
be,
can't be 10 days.
has to be between 15 and
At
30.
least 15
Yeah.
days.
After
From the date of
The publication, which is
publication, which is the 8th.
I read that the other way, because it says,
That's where our
Kinda like
constitution
when I was
messed
reading
up.
must
the
be
deal
held
on the train
at
a
least,
couple weeks ago, it couldn't make any sense.
so you gotta do it in at least 15
not right.
days.
Minimum of 15 days,
Yeah,
no
minimum
more
of
than
15
30.
days after the publication.
That's why I read
It's
it.
not real,
Yeah.
it's not stated
It'd be
real
10
clear.
days, but I want it to be.
Be held, the hearing must be held at least 15 days and not more than 30
After.
days after the publication of the
Okay.
notice.
So you're right.
That was like what I was reading on the screen.
Could have been put in a different spot, made it
Yeah.
more clear, but
Okay.
So, everybody agree with the changes February 26th
I do.
instead of, what was we, the 20th? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And it'll be Monday, 26th.
Yeah, Monday the 26th. Tuesday the 20th.
Okay.
Whew, we got that taken care of.
Yeah.
Burnt me up.
Good job, Kate.
Saved us.
Well, I still think we would have been fine if it's just me. Better be safe than sorry.
We have a young lady here, she has something she wants to share with us.
We have a young lady that wants to come up and talk.
She's I don't know if she wants to come up and talk, but she's an intern with the county attorney's office for the semester.
Oh, I see.
Hi. Hello.
Introduce yourself.
My name's Ava. I'm a senior in at Burlington High School, so I come here for about an hour and 15.
Great.
Hang out,
Okay.
do work.
Yep.
Welcome aboard.
She gets class credit for it and kind of gets immersed in all the things that go along with the office. Something a little different every day.
Yep.
Good for you.
Awesome.
Keep an open mind and open ears.
Help us not to wind up in, court.
Yeah. I think we're at round table.
Number one,
Welcome, man.
the Avondroth, I'm not sure if you've been contacted about a closing, but
I have not.
land title's been working, keeping me apprised on the finalization of the paperwork. I think there's some closing documents that have been prepared. So my anticipation is either I'll be reached out to or you'll be reached out to for a closing date. It's already been approved through prior action by this board. We're waiting on a legal document to verify, address a title issue, and that's been accomplished. So now that's the only thing that's outstanding. Title commitment's already there. So I think that's really all that's left is to schedule a closing. If you recall, closing was left open due to the judicial branch issue until it's finalized, so that there's no issue there. And then a contract between the county and Mr. Avondroth that was signed recently, it had language that anticipated a closing on or before, I believe, February 5th. So, just FYI.
I might swing by there on the way down, because I'm gonna be gone the rest of this week, so
Okay.
I might see. Sometimes you can sign that early and then they just move it on, but on the seller side.
I don't know, I've not seen anything as of this morning. The other document showed up the middle to late last week.
We've done the motion to authorize the chairman to sign that document, right?
Yes. It actually goes back to the resolution approving the sale of that property.
Okay.
And then there was a motion to extend that timeline because of the other issue, but I mean, the benefit of the details being in the minutes is if somebody wants to question it, they can go back and there's a paper trail, breadcrumbs, what I call it.
That line of credit loan for SSM, I know I switched gears on you. Is that through the month of February? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but there was some, they have, as a part of that project, there's some steps that have to be taken, I think, that are being addressed behind the scenes, to my knowledge. And I made contact with Joe Serrano, who's heavily involved in that process, and he was going to reach out to the lender to make sure that if anything needed to be done, he'd be able to prepare the documentation in an adequate timeline to bring it back before this board to request an extension if needed. So he's aware of it and he's going to address it, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of document extending a timeline if needed, if that's what you're talking about.
Yes,
Okay.
because that's another one that has not closed yet as well.
there was also a title document that I received simultaneous with the Avondrock, or the UDU property, that I provided the land title at the same time.
Anything else?
Yep, so, number 2 of 3 things. Number 2, 6:30, 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, I received a call from dispatch. The nature of the call was in reference to ceiling tiles and emergency management in the EOC that had fallen through based on water that had been leaking from what was in the ceiling somewhere. At that point, I did not know. After receiving that information, I was advised that Amber had been contacted, and she was en route. I came up to the building, went down to the EOC, and there was 2 ceiling tiles that one of them had had so much water it just collapsed, which is what got the attention of dispatch. Another one had a bunch of water on it, and if it sat there for much longer, then it would probably come down, so it was removed. And looking at the ceiling, and as you know, they're like this, so there's what, 3 to 5 feet above, with all the ductwork, electrical, and so on and so forth. There were what looked like at that time 3-inch electrical conduit of some sort that had a low spot with a sleeve on it, and water was dripping out of that sleeve. So immediately this isn't a good situation. This is where electrical is. I don't know what this isn't going to be good. After further explanation or exploration, Deputy Farmer was also there helping out, and we came to the conclusion that it was an empty chase of some sort that had what looked like a makeshift breaker box on it that was hollow. Opened up that breaker box, was able to look down through a flashlight and saw that water had been coming out of the wall. There's an elbow that takes a 45-degree angle and then goes straight across. And water was coming through the wall, and if you look at the sheriff's office where the main door is, it looks like immediately to the left, underneath the concrete, is where that chase came from, and then went out. We don't know what direction. We have an idea right now, but it came into the building, and somehow with all the rain, water was coming in. It wasn't in huge quantities, but enough to cause a problem. So I got a hold of Eric Smith. He came in, and then I called Tom. He came in, and in an attempt to troubleshoot it, because right at that point, it's probably around 8 o'clock in the morning, we had not started to receive the substantial rain that was coming later, and if it wasn't addressed, it was going to potentially create more of a water issue than it already had. So, to make a long story short, got a hold of Cook's Plumbing. Cook's came in, rapid response, cut the conduit and put a cap on it, and that seems to have addressed the issue. If you go out where the construction is, on the west side, you go out the sheriff's office door and look out into the old parking lot. There are a number of 3-inch pipes that are very similar, if not the same, as what goes into the building where this leak occurred. So it's highly likely or possible that these conduits were disturbed during what they're working on right now, and then were adjusted and then created the issue. When I got here this morning, I went over to the River City trailer, talked with one of the River City representatives, actually brought him over, showed him the outside, brought him on the inside of the building, showed him down in the EOC where the issue was, and he indicated to me that it's highly likely that the disturbance from the construction caused that, and when the county gets the materials cost for what it takes to replace the ceiling tiles and EOC and any other damage, as well as the bill from the emergency call out from Cooks to put it together and send it over to them, and it will be addressed as a cost associated with the construction.
So where did they cap it at? Did they cap it inside, downstairs, not outside?
Can't do it outside because it's under concrete right now.
So is that concrete, this breeze, I'm assuming it's coming into this breezeway area out the
Yes.
west? So is that gonna be re-concrete as well? 'Cause I mean, the cap's just only gonna last as long as it takes for it to rust out. And then you're gonna be right back with water coming in from the rusted pipe into the same location.
Yeah, it was a
Can't get it out of there.
conduit came through the wall, had a nail in right there with a collar screwed on it. So what we did, we had to cut the pipe, then unscrew that off, and then capped it with a piece of plastic PVC and doped it up. Is what he did. So you're exactly correct, and we had been talking about replacing that concrete in the breezeway, but having discovered this, now we need to know when we tear that out to replace it, but we need to dig down on that wall and
Pull all of that out.
address anything and plug anything off in that particular area. Why that particular conduit was like that and abandoned, I'm not quite sure.
So, River City explained to me at one point in time in their plan, they discovered that there was a generator of some sort that was out somewhere in that area and must have run into the building, and maybe that was the old conduit that was used.
Yeah, there, right there at that island where the sheriff did park, there was a transformer that sat there. I wonder if that's come off that.
Well,
Could have been.
the bottom line, I mean, maybe it was because they disturbed it, or did this just happen because we removed all the concrete and now the water can get to this?
Well, if you look out there, there's some pipes that have been, like Wade said, that have been cut off.
I see,
And,
okay,
I mean, they're just exposed. There's one
Right.
that's actually pointed up.
I see.
But you
Okay.
don't know which one it is.
Yeah, but basically all these three that you're talking are abandoned apparently?
Yes.
There's none of these that are being used as far as you can tell?
Right.
Okay.
And in my
Yeah.
conversation with River City and showing them the exposed conduit and then what happened in EOC, they're gonna be more aware of any of the exposed pipes and what they're gonna do with what's out there now. They're gonna cap them. So
Yeah.
that any of that occurs in the future, they're aware that it may lead somewhere, and they're gonna cap them just as a preventative measure.
So then if the plan was that we replace that concrete, then we should be fixing the wall.
Exactly.
And then fixing the
Pull
wall.
it out and fix it for good.
Yeah.
So Amber did mention while we were there that going back in time, and I'm not sure what that timeline was, that wall, at one point in time leaked down the inside of the wall and it had to be sealed, and it hadn't been an issue since then. So as a part of preventative maintenance, it may be a good idea when the concrete is replaced to make sure that gets looked into as well.
Yeah.
So that you don't put new concrete in and then you create another problem by opening up a leak that is addressed right now.
Very good. Sounds like it's taken care of for now.
I do know once the jail's built and part of the renovation on the existing jail and those rooms through there, I know they've had lots of plumbing issues, and the hope is a lot of those plumbing pieces, if you will, go away, because you don't have all them cells, you don't have all, so in the remodel, all that should be remedied and rectified.
Good.
Hopefully don't run into that anymore.
Uh-huh.
But they've had just sewer line breaks and all kinds of stuff in there.
I've heard that was difficult.
Yeah.
Raw sewage breaks, where,
Yeah.
That's not handy.
no. I guess staying on the topic of the construction, some may be inquiring, because I was asked. The dirt was taken down substantially, just right outside. If you walk out to the west and go straight up, it was taken out substantially and then filled in with rock. And in discussions with Ryan from River City, asking him why they were digging so deep, they had Caw Valley out, who was also testing the compaction, I guess is the best way to put it. They had to dig down because the dirt, they called it, was bad dirt.
Unsuitable soil.
Unsuitable soil, right.
Determination.
And they had to go down far enough to get suitable soil, because if they didn't, it was, I don't want to say it was exactly like quicksand, but it probably wasn't far off. And to set the base for the foundation of the building, it wasn't going to pass, it wasn't within required tolerance, I guess is the best way to put it.
Right.
So they had to go down far enough where it was just stable enough, and then they filled it back in with that rock. If they wouldn't have done that, just, it would build the building, and then it would maybe tilt sideways, and you don't want that. So
We don't want a leaning jail.
it would be an attraction, I'm sure, but it wouldn't be very popular on the inside. So, in case somebody were interested in knowing that's the reason why that was done, and that would eat into the contingency, because that was an unforeseen cost that they had to go a lot further down. Additionally, they found some of the foundation for the old jail. They found a cell door,
Pretty rusty, but kind of cool.
a cell door, and
He's
some
gonna
other.
he's gonna sandblast that and paint it and get it ready for the museum.
A cell door, and some other artifacts from the old jail. So, they also found, I believe it was some sort of basement entrance in concrete. Fortunately, they didn't have to go down any further to keep digging, but some of those things were located in the demo.
No, we don't.
Well, that was gonna be my question, was since they did that digging, other than maybe some deeper digging for foundation, are we kind of past the point of, oh my gosh, we're gonna jackhammer for a month, or
Yes.
some foundations or something?
Because if you recall the schedule next calls for starting, I believe, on February 16th is land footings. So I think my understanding is they had some really good days with the weather. Even though they were off for some days, they had that built in, and they're well on schedule.
Good.
Next week, and I'm not sure if he's on the agenda yet, Warren Moody from River City is going to come in, and there is a change order number 1 that will need to be explained, and he's prepared to come in. Is he on the agenda yet?
No.
Okay. I would suggest just putting them on at 10 o'clock if you don't have anything.
I don't have anything at all. Really think I'm on.
Tom was evaluating that Friday. I think Friday morning when I talked to him, he was evaluating that change order. You know, back to this soft spot that Wade has talked about, did they use any instrument at all to, at what point do they have the PSI they needed without going in lower? You know if
I'm sure they did. They have
You know if they did any testing?
I would assume they did, but I would think experience would tell you sometimes too that you encounter something that's not quite right. So that, I'm assuming they're having Terracon come down periodically to test their compactions to make when, because the soil's got to be tested before you place a rock on via compaction test. So
I would think they'd be testing that pretty often.
yeah, they'd be pretty regular. I believe I have seen a Terracon vehicle out there, or maybe it wasn't Terracon.
I know Caw Valley's been.
Caw Valley, that's what it was.
They had at least two individuals walking the scene, and they're tearing it out last week.
There was a lot of them out there Friday morning walking around.
I don't know why I said Terracon, it was called that way, sorry.
Okay. Okay.
So, the change order information was sent to me, and, Angie, and they would have been here to talk today about it, but they weren't available, so I recommended they come and talk next week about it. But there'll be some, documents that will be, this is just maybe some foreshadowing for each of you, will be sent to your weekly email or whatever it is that you get to review prior to Monday.
Okay.
And I'd encourage you to look at it. It should be somewhere around 50-some pages long, which covers all of the details that go with the requested change order.
Was the dollar amount in the 86 range? I'm trying to remember, I think I've seen that already.
I don't recall the exact number. It has to do with some post-approval addendums to some of the items, and some require more explanation. And why Warren's going to be here is one of them in particular requires some added explanation that will make a whole lot more sense when he's here, because if you just look at it on paper, it will reach out and grab you.
And we'll wait until Warren's here. Let him explain it.
He can explain it a whole lot better than me. I would probably confuse it and then create more questions than I would answers. But they're very, very receptive to coming in and explaining what they're asking for and why. The last thing is, I'd say I could do it in 10 minutes, a 10-minute executive session, myself, the board, legal advice related to a county agreement and potential litigation. Both of them tie together, it ties to both of them.
10-minute executive session, the board and Wade Bowie.
That's a move.
I'll second that.
Moved by Hughes and seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Give us an extra minute, maybe.
We'll enter at 10:42 for 10 minutes. Alright, no action taken, last executive session. Board round table, Steve, do you have anything?
No, sir, I'm good.
Don?
I'm fine.
Mr. Wade?
Spoke with the renter on the Daily property. They're agreeable with renting for this year. They did pay us for some additional acres above and beyond the contract last year. So this year, what everybody kind of indicated that, you know, we wouldn't do anything with the areas, with any of the farm, with any of the tillable or anything, so that'd be eliminated. But so I've got the changes scratched out on the contract, and I'll get with Wade.
That's on the farm ground, is there grass?
There won't be any farm ground that we would want to rent, is kind of what we talked about
Right.
possibly before. I guess everybody's agreeable with that. So I'll get in touch with Wade, and may take a couple weeks before we get it finalized, but work in that direction. And, Jesse, I believe I saw that you may have shared on Facebook that Wednesday evening, there's a meeting at the library about the use of farm tags or something. Was that the Highway Patrol was gonna put that on?
No, it's the Extension Office and Gary Davenport from the KCC in Topeka.
Okay.
Gary Davenport's actually gonna be down doing the presentation, and I think it'd be a very, very, very good thing for the local farmers, local whatever, to be involved in that, because there's been a lot of changes. You might not think you're for hire, but if you're charging your landlord to haul your grain to market, you're for hire.
Right, right.
So I think it'd
Well,
be a good seminar to sit in on.
When is that, Janice?
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday at 6:30 at the library here in
Mhm.
Burlington.
This
correct?
Wednesday?
Yeah, yeah.
Gary Davenport's been with KCC for
Yeah,
18 years, something like that. I just spoke to
yeah,
him last
dealt
week.
with him on a lot of different things. He's very, very well informed man. I think a lot of people would sure benefit from coming and listening to it, and maybe they could make some minor changes that might keep them out of trouble
Mhm.
in a stop or something, just learn more about how to qualify. So I'm planning to attend anyhow, so. And that's all I've got.
Thomas?
I don't have anything other than, I still have not met with the street superintendent on this, drop-off zone. That's on my radar, and I just, get busy and forget, I guess.
Crazy to know how that works.
Angie, you have anything?
Yeah, one thing, we talked about here a couple weeks ago, what kind of menu we want for the Southeast Kansas District meeting. And I had mentioned that Evergy was going to pay for the lunch that day, so do you want me to contact any just certain one vendor to do the dinner, or do you want me to put a call out for bids? What do you want me to do? I know someone said brisket that day would be the meat, and then we need to pick sides, because I gotta tell them something.
Who'd we have? We had Christmas was
Thanksgiving was Brad.
Or Thanksgiving was Brad.
Is there a
Rotation.
Yeah.
vendor in Levo or something now? I mean, you got Bob Henry at Waverly.
Brad's the only one up at Levo.
Okay.
And then you got Hogman.
Yeah.
So,
Or is it
Doug Henry.
Doug Henry. I said Bob. Doug Henry.
I mean, he's gonna be pulled pork,
Yeah, do brisket.
I don't think he does brisket. I think he's all pork.
Okay, good.
I think.
Whoever we can get. Yeah.
Cheesy potatoes, green beans,
Green beans, cheesy potatoes.
salad.
Yeah, probably salad.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Roll, I suppose, and then do you want to do a slice of pie like we did, like maybe hometown like we did last time? Okay.
That'd be fine.
And that's in April, Angie?
Yeah.
Yeah. The 18th?
Josh, how do you know what you're gonna have the head count for?
Well, they're supposed to be getting back with me,
Oh, okay.
and then we also always see county employees at these meetings too. They usually let road and bridge go through and all that, so.
I see.
And we already have CIC's going to pay for the donuts that morning, or breakfast, whatever snack, so.
All the other counties, just have coffee and water and donuts or a roll or something in the morning. They don't do a lot.
Yeah. We're not either.
Who's that gonna go? Does that go through the donut shop?
I'm not exactly sure. Amber's handling the donuts, so I don't know who she's gonna go through. If she'll go through Casey's or she'll go through the donut shop. So,
that all you got?
So, yeah, so do you want me to check with Hogman on that first, and then,
That'd be fine. See if he does that.
and then if not, Brad again, or?
Yeah, I guess,
Does a good job.
yeah. I just like to rotate, I
Oh,
mean,
no,
as much
is
as.
there anybody else out there that,
Other than this Lane's
Other than
barbecue.
Lane's, I mean, like I say, I don't know if Lane's, I mean, not where they're from, he's out in Emporia, isn't he? Jacobs Creek, oh, okay.
Okay.
You want me to check with him, and then Brad last, since we just had Brad, is that how you want me to do it?
That's fine.
Okay.
You got his contact?
I can probably get it from Bobby, unless you have it.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I could probably use this kind of the same avenue to get it for you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you can get it from Bobby, go ahead.
Okay. That's all I have, I think, today, and then we got special issues.
Okay. I don't have much of anything, I went, and got that sump pump for the pool cover. I think total for the sump pump and the extension cord and the hose was $96, $94, something like that. So I forgot to receive it at the office, but got the water pumped off of it at least, so we don't have any damage. Didn't look like to me anyway, so. That's all I've got. So, nobody has anything else, we'll start signing special.
Update myself.
Yep. About the time I get a bunch of notes run on, I want it to kind of ripped off.
Yeah. I was reading through them and there was nothing I did.
Yeah.
New month, new notes, I guess.
At least we can see the sun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's shine on a day at work.
Yeah. It's pretty
Shine
nice.
on your day off.
Yeah.
Oh. The sheriff didn't come in this morning, I guess he was under the weather, but I guess he bought a vehicle Friday. I don't know anything about the vehicle, but I received a text
Should be in
message
there.
from Angie about using a stamp, and then I got involved with the sheriff and was asking about it, and some special deal that come in is like $29,000. I don't know if he traded in anything or anything to that effect. He was supposed to be here today to visit with us about it. That was $60-some thousand, I thought it might be in there.
We wrote it for Friday, so it might not.
Out of his.
Is that his budget?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
usually is. I usually have that covered pretty well, I believe.
It must be like, maybe in the back here. No, that's what it just comes to. Oh, here it is, right here.
Vehicle maintenance.
Oh, that's me.
That's only $397. Employee benefits, $39. Probably the last one in here.
Probably.
We'll just go straight to the back.
Mm-hmm. Then it'll be in the middle of it.
Yeah. 29,000. 2023 Ford F-150. 29,300 and penny, or $301.
I should say it's up.
Plain Jane, if it ain't.
Yeah.
It is until they
buy one.
Well, there
It
would
didn't
have to
until they
been a
talked her down.
disposal if he was trading.
$20,000 trade-in, 49,202.
Now, does this all go in?
They all go here.
So that we
Should
motion to dispose
have
of.
had to have a motion to dispose of that.
Yep.
If he's going to pay for that, it wouldn't hurt him a minute. I would put a motion together.
Chevrolet F, 1500 had 104,000 miles on it.
What year was it they traded in?
Well, 2019, maybe?
So, as far as that goes, they're on their, sheriff's on their own budget and everything about making those decisions and everything, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's only for the budget.
I don't
And a
have
lot
an
of
objection, I just.
A lot of times that money is sitting in the general fund with capital outlay. I'm gonna word it wrong, I know Angie could explain it better.
Do what, I'm sorry?
Oh, sometimes his equipment is sitting in a capital outlay general line item.
It'd be under the sheriff's department capital outlay, yeah, if he's budgeted for it.
That's what I was trying to say.
I got it.
The only thing that's missing in that's the vehicle, and Angie's getting information off on it. If we did it for the motion.
Curious. How we dispose of property.
Oh, typically, well, you'll come in and do a disposal notice and then publish in the newspaper by either trade-in or sale to someone or whatever, so I'm writing up a motion for you right now.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
go ahead and do a disposal notice, and we'll need to publish it, I think, once, right?
That's fine, I was just curious what the procedure was, because I knew
Yeah.
they were a separate department, and I didn't know where
Yeah.
their authority to dispose of stuff
Is that
started and stopped,
six-
basically.
or 688? I can't tell.
Good question. I'm gonna say 66841. What are you looking for?
66841 or 688.
Looks like 6.
8.
You know you're good.
No, I think it is 66841.
Got a little curve in the middle
Yeah,
there.
the 6 is just a little different than the 8.
It's really hard to see. You're looking at a rusty van on a truck frame.
Get your white chalk and go over it.
Yeah. I figured out that if you take a picture of it with your phone, you can throw it up and see it a lot better, at least than I can,
Mhm.
with the naked eye.
I forgot about
Really-
doing that. I
really
have done
helps.
that.
Well, I probably ain't gonna help on that paper though, I doubt, Angie. A lot of times if we got a part number or something, stick a phone way back in there somewhere and get a number of it.
I'll pass that out to you, but everything will go back in this yellow.
Okay.
I think that captures everything.
Put the remainder balance of 29,000.
Okay, well, then I need to do a,
Special things to do this week.
No, she's got 2 appointments in Kansas City. And, that keeps us pretty well busy.
I understand.
Man, there's a lot of water standing around. I think the drive is broken.
They're driving.
Can't see, I seen it on the news that it was still in the moderate.
I don't see how that happened. Yeah,
I don't wanna be around when we get enough,
Brakes
are
out. I don't know whether our subsoil's full yet or not. You know,
Oh, it
takes
may
months-
not be, but,
Takes months and months and months
It
for it
does.
to fill up.
but all the ponds are filled back up.
when that snow melted a couple times now, that's when you really get
Yeah,
your chance to get your subsoil, I think.
yeah. Actually, we're in better shape right now than we were last year at this time going
Oh,
into
my
going
God.
into spring.
I think we are too.
Yeah.
Oh, this one, didn't I?
All of these go in that yellow folder.
Yeah.
I always just go ahead and sign and then look, I figure I can go back and scribble my name out.
Should we put a recommendation of the sheriff?
Okay, see what you think about that.
Well, I
Mm-hmm.
think you gotta put the recommendation of the sheriff on the disposal,
Sure.
copy paste.
Might get some trouble all the time. Okay.
All right, motion number one, based upon the recommendation of the sheriff to dispose of one 2019 Chevy Silverado 1500, VIN ending in 66841, with 104,000 miles, to trade to Laird Noller Automotive, Lawrence, in the amount of $20,000.
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by McCurry, seconded by Meats. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye, motion passes. And the next is based on the recommendation of the sheriff to purchase one 2023 Ford F-150 XLT four-wheel drive, VIN ending in 10875 from Laird Noller Automotive, Lawrence, in the amount of $49,202, less trade-in allowance of $20,000, for a total amount of $29,301. Funds to come from the general fund, sheriff department, capital outlay line item.
So moved.
I'll second. Moved by Thompson, seconded by Knight. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Cover for the sheriff.
This last group goes in.
Yeah, that one goes in that yellow too.
This one does also?
Yeah, yeah, that's just the vehicle. Angie had it for the build show. I am going to try to be here next Monday, but there is a slim possibility that I won't, but I'll, got a lot of miles to drive Sunday, so
Okay.
I'll try to make it.
You mean you'll be here a little sleepy if you get here Monday, maybe?
Good possibility. You can drive all day and not get out of the state of Texas, so.
Angie, this one invoice for Valman, $5,700, professional planning services for the consulting services for coffee. What's that, right? Is that an annual deal we do, or what's the value of that?
It looks like they're the ones that are doing that,
Oh, yeah.
planning, that Russ Huey, you guys approved a contract with him to work with, was it planning board, I think?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's with the
planning board for
yeah.
the, yeah, Tom, though, and on that, yeah,
Planning and zoning.
planning zone.
He's our consultant.
We've also had an invoice from,
I'm sorry, my mind was elsewhere.
an annual deal from the sheriff for,
Lexapro,
$7,000 or $8,000. We evidently have that every year.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think Lexapro
I wonder if
was,
there's that much difference from one annual to another annual.
I think it was 10,000.
Yes,
No,
and I think we do that
is
annually.
that the one?
I'm not questioning Tom, but other than, if he's gonna be here next week, I'll just ask him the importance of the annual.
I think that's a training, I think it's a training program
Yeah,
for fire, I mean, I believe.
I think, yeah.
And Tom can speak to that, but I think
Well,
that's
they
what-
help with their manuals,
But manuals, what that's all for, looks like.
yeah. Any manual
Looks
law
like all
enforcement
that-
procedures.
all that.
And I think you guys questioned this last year too.
Good have, I technically got, really don't wanna question you, maybe an explanation on it. I think we have asked him before. Everything's in that.
Any last second roundtable pop to mind? Crickets.
I don't have
It's a
anything.
good time.
Everybody wants to get out and go enjoy the nice weather.
No, I can't think of
Yeah. I will call, Ryan when I leave here, get started on the survey.
Yeah, like I say, once it's applied, then be thinking about how you wanna proceed with disposal, selling, whether you wanna, I like the auction thing.
They can start it online too, at the
Yeah.
beginning, get early stuff, and that normally takes care of your minimums, and then turn around and the day or two before the sale, it really starts going crazy. But we'll see. All right, nobody else has anything else? We will adjourn at 11:20. Everybody have a good week.
Jesse, you have a safe hunt.
Yeah, you have a safe trip.